Okay, so it looks like we're ready. So good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Is everyone asleep? Can we try again? Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. All right, so my name's Jason Girdner. I'm going to give you a little bit of my background. I don't want to go into too much in depth. I've been in the car business since 2001, always been on the vendor side. Lead generation has been my specialty. So I started in direct mail. We built an IVR system that customers would call, type in their PIN code, and it would generate a lead to the dealership. Many of you have probably used something similar to that in the past. In 2008, I realized that traditional advertising was going away slowly, and I needed to get into digital advertising. I made the leap into social media, and I built a company called Social Ups, which this was the time most dealers were concerned about fans on their Facebook page. So that was our primary focus at the time. I built a gaming application that was similar to Farmville, just different little games we'd put on a car dealer's page, and it would drive fans to the page. And we were very successful at it. We have quite a few stores that got over 200,000 Facebook likes, and other dealers would look at it and think, wow, 200,000 Facebook likes. Quickly realized, we signed up about 500 stores, and quickly realized that we could not track an ROI from it, that we could not prove that there was a tangible number of car deals that were coming from the efforts, and I had to make the decision, do I continue selling dealers this product? And because they were signing up left and right, and $500, $600 a month is what we were charging. It was easy to get a dealer because we'd show them another dealer's page that had 200,000 Facebook likes, and they'd say, I'm in, I'm signing up. And I had to make the decision, do I want to continue doing this? Do I want to continue selling dealers a product that I couldn't prove an ROI? Coming from a direct mail background, and we had a BDC that set appointments for dealers, I was very involved with the dealers on selling cars. So constantly working with the desk, and I just couldn't bring myself to continue selling this product to car dealers. So I did that for 2-3 years, ended up selling that company, and then I started another social media company called Spark. And I thought, okay, if we took pictures of customers at the time of delivery, and we got them to share it on their Facebook page, we would capture data from their friends and family and then market to the friends and family of these customers. And I went around, trained thousands of salespeople, literally sat in rooms bigger than this, training salespeople, and they're falling asleep. 5% of them would actually use the app. So even though it was a better way of selling cars and we could track some car deals off of it, it still was not getting implemented, and I decided to sell that last year, not this February, but last February. So like many of you in here, I almost threw in the towel. I said, you know what, I can't prove that we're going to sell cars off of Facebook, and I built our software that we're currently using right now for direct mail. So I wanted people to be able to text in from their direct mail campaigns, and I was going to go back into direct mail. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I almost threw in the towel on Facebook marketing. I just could not bring myself to continue selling dealers on something that was $500 to $1,000 and not be able to show that they're selling the 10, 15, 20 cars. That's what drives me. I mean, that's why I get up in the morning, is car deals drive me. That's my whole purpose of existence in life, and I believe that's what I was born to do. And I just could not continue to sell a social media product that was not resulting in car deals. One of my clients pushed me back into Facebook, and he said, I'm going to give you a $7,500 budget. I was trying to sell him direct mail, and he says, I'm going to give you a $7,500 budget, and I want you to run Facebook ads. And I looked at him like, Facebook ads, $7,500? Like, are you crazy? And no one was spending this kind of money. This was about 2 years ago, year and a half. So it sent me into, I'm a full stack software developer. So first I'm a salesperson, and I sell software. So I wanted to learn how to develop software so that I could make things that were easy to sell. So I started digging into Facebook's API, and I realized that I could connect a text messaging software to their Facebook ad platform. And that's, long story short, I'm about to walk you through some of the numbers of what dealers that are advertising on Facebook are receiving. So that's a little background of myself, how I got here. I've been coming to Digital Dealer since, I think, the third one. I've never spoke. This is my third time speaking in front of dealers. I've always been behind the scenes working with salespeople. So hello, everyone. So I'm actually going to go to the next one. We're going to watch a pretty cool video here. Some of you have probably seen this. It's by Gary Vee. I just love this video. I think that everyone in here should really take to heart what he's saying in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and play this.
Person here grabs this anytime that there is a commercial. Yet, $80 billion is spent by the biggest brands in the world to make 30-second videos of a Jeep going up a hill, or some guy grabbing a beer, or some lady with a baby using some oil. $80 billion. It is completely not practical, it is broken, and it is the reason that 95% of the Fortune 500 biggest brands in the world have declined in market share over the last 2 years. Here's what matters to everybody in this room. All that money is coming into our ecosystem. Once they start calibrating how bad it actually is, when Coca-Cola and BMW and the biggest IBM start taking that money from page 147 of Sports Illustrated and from a commercial of Guiding Light, and they take those dollars and they put them into Facebook and Instagram, the price of our attention is gonna go through the roof. So I sit here today and plea that if you are not activating your marketing in that ecosystem, you are gonna miss the golden era of Facebook marketing and you will regret it. And people run around here, there are people in this room that run around here with an opinion on Facebook marketing and they've never deployed a single ad on it. There are people here that run around and have opinions on Instagram marketing and have never deployed a single penny on it, period.
So we are in the golden era of Facebook marketing. I know that a lot of dealers have attempted to sell cars on Facebook. I understand that it hasn't worked the way that we had planned it to work. But it doesn't defeat the fact that 68% of all Americans, that's men, women, and children, and 79% of online adults use Facebook right now. So it's not a question of if the people are there, if it's a place to reach the customers. It's a question of, are we implementing the right processes to monetize the people that are there? When Facebook came out, everyone thought, I'm going to set up a Facebook page. I'm going to post some cool stuff on my Facebook page, and then all of a sudden, everyone's going to want to come buy a car from me, right? Who thought that? No one in here thought that? I mean, I thought that, and I've been doing it a long time. It's just not going to work that way. And it may have been better in the past, but Facebook does not want you to do that. And you can't blame them for doing that. They're a business. They need to make money just like you do. So they've worked your organic post out of their ecosystem. And it's getting harder and harder for a business to advertise for free on Facebook. At one point in time, you could advertise on Facebook and you could reach some customers. It's no longer the case. If you look at your reach on your organic post on Facebook, they're going away. And I think, because I've been watching Facebook evolve very closely, that eventually you won't even have a business page that you can advertise on for free anymore. So we are in the golden era of Facebook marketing. Everyone is on Facebook. Who in here has Facebook on their phone right now? Show of hands. Look around the room. Keep your hands up. Look around the room. Who in here has checked Facebook today? Raise your hand. Look around the room. Who in here has checked Facebook in the last hour? Look around the room. I'm on Facebook now. Jonathan is always on Facebook. I will attest to that. So am I. If you are on my Facebook page, you know that. Look, it's the golden era. The question is, how do we monetize it? What do we do to convince customers that they should buy a car from you when they're on Facebook? You're going to have to pay to play. End of story. You have to pay to play. The next thing is, how much do I pay? Well, if you think you're going to sell cars for $500 a month, you're sadly mistaken. I mean, just look at the NADA statistics. You think you're going to sell cars for $500 a month, it's not going to happen. Anyone that tells you that you could sell cars for $500 a month is probably telling you a lie. I'm just going to say they're probably lying to you. So, right here, this is July 2017. We have spent a lot of money in the past year on Facebook. I believe more than just about any other social company that exists. So we've got July 2017. We spent $196,000 that month on Facebook ads for car dealers. We generated 10,856 leads. That's leads. So the way the dealers we work with look at Facebook isn't engagement, it's not reach, it's not VDP views, it's actual leads that you have an opportunity to communicate with to talk about buying or selling a car. And that's what that 10,856 leads are. And we'll go over in more depth on how we generate those leads or how our clients generate those leads and how we came to the 11,000 leads that we generated in July. Our average lead cost is $18.05. That would be the average lead cost across all the dealers that are doing Facebook marketing in our ecosystem is at $18 per lead. So imagine how much you're paying for your leads right now. How much are you paying for leads right now? Someone give me a number. $180, $200? Anyone else? Got a number? You don't know what your average lead cost is? No one? $20 a lead? So $18 a lead, sound fair? Sounds like a fair price to me. So here's the thing that I think the industry as a whole, and this isn't just about social media, this is more about digital marketing, is we are focused right here. Everyone in this room, every dealer I talk to across this country is focused on customers at the point of action. You walk in here, there's signs saying in-market shoppers. Get in-market shoppers. The problem is you're all competing for that same customer. In traditional advertising, when you ran TV ads or direct mail or newspaper, you couldn't run that ad at someone who's looking for a car right now. You could change stations and maybe get a subprime customer or a different kind of customer by being on a different station, but you didn't know if the people that were watching that TV ad were actually in the market to buy a car. So look around. Everyone in here is focused right here. We have to catch people further up that funnel. And I'll give you a good example. I'm addicted to cars. Anyone that knows me, I have a car buying problem. Dead. I haven't put tires on a car in probably 10 years. I literally no oil changes. I don't keep them very long. I'm addicted to cars. I think a lot of other people still love cars too. You go to a car show, what do they have? They have the hoods up. You have people walking by the cars. You have them looking at the engines, looking at the inside. It doesn't matter if it's old cars or new cars. They have car shows with new cars. People still love cars. They still do. Yet our industry is so focused on pitching price, on pitching the price of the car. Look up some old TV ads from the 60s. See how many times they mention price in the ad. It's very rare that they mention price. And that's because we are fighting for this bottom part of the funnel. Everyone in here is focused on this bottom part of the funnel. So think about it. Where can you get a digital lead that is not bottom funnel? There's only one place I can think of, and that's Google display ads. Everything else, AdWords, AutoTrader, Car Guru, everything else is someone who's already made up their mind to buy a car. There's someone that said, you know what, I need a new car. My wheels fell off, and it's time for me to get a new car. I buy cars. Anyone know Mike Davenport? Mike Davenport posted the other day, he's got the Camaro, the ZL1 in stock. That's all he posted on Facebook. I got a ZL1 in stock, a 2018. You know what I've done for the past 2 weeks? Research the ZL1. Colby's trying to sell me a ZL1 now. Seriously, he's trying to sell me a ZL1. He's got a really nice ZL1. So they just sold it. Everyone else is like that. Consumers are like that. They may not know that there's a new F-150. They may not know that there's new features in the Uconnect. Yet we're not advertising to those people anymore. We're not reminding them how beautiful cars are and how great they have become. That's what Facebook is going to help us solve. I know this because I have 200,000 conversations and 3 million text messages that tell me this. Analyzing the text messages that we've generated in the past year, someone take a guess. What percentage of the time do you think the word price is mentioned? Take a guess. 10%. 10% of the time with consumers that are driven from Facebook, price is mentioned. And I was like everyone in here before I started Facebook. Oh, I got to put invoice or below invoice so I can convert everyone on the website. And then I started watching the conversations. And I started realizing they are not asking about price. They're realizing that, hey, what does the new Uconnect have? Or what features does the F-150, what can it tow? We need to focus as an industry up here. And what are you going to do? I mean, you can't advertise on TV anymore. No one watches TV. So if you're running TV ads, might want to rethink that strategy because no one I just turned off my TV. I have no TV in my house anymore. No one's reading the newspaper. What are you going to do? What's the solution? Where the eyeballs are. Where are the eyeballs? They are dead center on Facebook every second of every single day. There's probably people in here right now looking at their Facebook page. Huh? Jonathan is definitely on Facebook. I guarantee Jonathan's on Facebook. So we want to catch the attention of customers before they start shopping. Not saying that you don't go after the people who've already made up their mind to buy a car. They're still there. You still need to capture them. But we also need to start driving people into the buying cycle. That's why sales have been level. Because we're just waiting for people to figure out that they need a car instead of convincing them, hey, now might be a great time to go buy a car. Because we had no resource to do that. We pulled everything out of traditional. We put it all in digital. And there's no way to reach people. Google display ads is probably the only thing I can think of. And the problem with Google display ads, in my opinion, is they didn't implement it properly. They're intrusive. You go to a website, it's blinking, it's flashing. It's like MySpace for ads, is what it is. You go and you're like, oh my God, another ad. And then people accidentally click it. Who remembers before Facebook started selling ads? Anyone remember that? And you were thinking, when are they going to start selling ads? How are they going to make money? Right? Everyone was in here. What the heck? Like, how is this company going to make money? You know what they were doing? They were being smart about how they implemented the ads. They didn't want to become Google display ads. They took their time so that you don't even know you're seeing an ad half the time. Unless you know to look for that sponsored little word right there on the ad. Most people don't even know they're looking at an ad when they're seeing an ad. That is pure genius to me. And it works beyond anything that I could ever believe would ever work. And what does it do? It drives incremental business. Incremental business, that is the key word. Incremental business. Because what, in my opinion, Google AdWords has become is the yellow pages that you're paying $200 a lead for. That people that were going to come probably buy a car from you anyways. They're searching your name. Look at it. Listen to your calls. Record your phone calls. Are they calling your service department? Are they calling for Sally in accounting? How much incremental business are you truly getting from that? This is what Facebook's going to help you solve. This is going to make the difference in our industry. It is no longer about price shopping. Grosses have gotten to an all-time low. You're fronting grosses? I mean, some dealers are okay with it, but the vast majority of them, whether you want to admit it or not, on a new car, I mean, if I was a car salesman, I wouldn't sell cars anymore. There's no way. I couldn't feed my family. Couldn't do it. And that's because we're focused right here. That's it. We focus on people at the point of action. We're not getting their interest. We're not getting their attention. We're not driving the desire. We're waiting for all that to happen, and then we dump our money on Google AdWords and compete against each other for those same 5 customers that are searching for a car today. We're shooting ourselves in the foot, in my opinion. It's a race to the bottom. Someone told me that the other day. I believe it's a race to the bottom. So the question is, what do I do? So I'm going to show you. I'm going to actually show you how our clients are utilizing Facebook to drive people all over the funnel, people that aren't price-conscious consumers. The first thing is you're targeting. Who do I target? And I think a lot of dealers and social companies have shot themselves in the foot with this. They think they want to be experts. I have to make this so complicated because there's so many filters. I challenge you to think about it in a simpler way. So the way our clients run ads, they geographically target their market. Pretty self-explanatory. You could do it by DMA, by zip code, by radius. Pretty simple. Set your languages. You can go after English, Spanish, any language you want. Don't run English ads targeted with Spanish people in the audience. And don't run Spanish ads with English people in the audience. Just don't do it. It doesn't make sense. So very simple. Next one. Here's the big one. Do not filter your audience. Yeah, I said it. Don't put filters on your audience. And I'm going to go over why you don't want to put filters on your audience. And I actually thought it was on this slide. Let me see. No, it's on the next slide. And I'm going to show you why you don't want to filter your audience. So there's an ad type called a lead gen ad on Facebook. Anyone can run this. Anyone in this room can go into Facebook and you can run a lead gen ad. Some of you have probably already done it and it didn't work, and I'm going to go over why. You weren't able to get them on the phone. They said they didn't click the ad. I know all the reasons of why it didn't work, and I will go over that. But first, I want to go over, you want to optimize your ads for lead delivery. And this is why you don't filter your audience. So let's say you have a bad credit ad. You're targeting bad credit customers. What happens is, I don't know if it shows the, let's say there's 1 million people in your audience, right? 1 million people. Not all of them have bad credit. Some of them got great credit. They get offended by a bad credit ad. They're like, I don't got bad credit. Why did I see this ad? Well, that's not the way Facebook works. They've gotten really smart over the past 5 or so years. Really, really, really smart. They know everything about you guys in here. Trust me. They know everything you're doing. So what happens when you optimize your ad for lead delivery, let's say I got bad credit, and I click on the ad and I become a lead. What do you think Facebook does? They look at my post. They look at the pages I like. They look at the people I engage with. They look at the things that I do that would also profile someone like me. And if you're limiting that audience, they can't do that efficiently. And what the detailed targeting is, the detailed targeting is basically external data being overlaid on Facebook's audience. So they're taking Axiom, Polk, multiple different data sources, and they are trying to overlay this on top of their audience. Well, I don't think it's very accurate. I mean, I don't know who in here has used those filters, but I don't think they're very accurate, and they've driven up lead cost for clients substantially. I mean, way through the roof. What the dealers are getting the best results on is broad audience targeting. Number one, those people aren't being advertised to. The person who needs to see the F-150, the person who needs to know that there's a new feature in the Uconnect, or it's a 25-inch screen in your dash now. They're not going to see the ads if you try filtering down to in-market shoppers, which it's not accurate. So you're limiting their system's ability to identify who would be like me. Who else has bad credit? Maybe it's Colby. Maybe Colby goes to the same pages I go to. Maybe he posts the same kind of stuff that I post on. Maybe he engages with the same group of people that I engage with. Whatever it is, in their infinite wisdom, that optimization right there is your answer. Keep the filters off your ads. Stop filtering your ads. Go after broad audience filters and make sure that it's optimized for lead delivery, and you'll see a huge decrease in your cost per lead. A major decrease. And the smarter the ad gets, the lower it gets. So make sure that you're optimizing for lead delivery. And when you set up a lead gen ad, it automatically does this for you. But the part that you really have to be careful of is that detailed targeting. And I had a data company that works with Facebook stop by the booth yesterday, and they're like, we got filters, we got this. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. And he said, why not? I said, well, we get very involved with the conversations that customers are having, and every time I filter it, my cost goes up per lead, and my conversion drops. Because now I'm getting Colby, who went to AdWords, AutoTrader, Car Guru, and every dealership in town has Colby's information and is trying to call him. I want customers that aren't working with every other dealership. So be very careful with your targeting. It really is overkill, in my opinion. Broad audience targeting is what our clients have found to convert at the highest level with the lowest lead cost. So an effective lead gen ad structure, and I think there should be some social media companies in here watching this. Number one, keep your offer simple. Keep it simple. So I had a dealer in the booth. He pulled up his website. He's got his banners on his website, and it's got $5,000 off MSRP, or 0% for 72 months, or a lease special for $173 a month. You can't do that on Facebook. You know how much time you have from a consumer in that news feed to catch their attention? Split second. The second it takes to flip their thumb up. If you have too many offers inside of that ad, you're going to lose their attention. Their brain can't handle it. We just can't handle too much going on. So the biggest thing, make your offer clear, concise, and if you want to try multiple offers, create multiple ads. Don't put them all stuffed in one single ad. Make the lease special ad. Make the $5,000 off MSRP ad. Make the 0% for 72 months. And then figure out which one is going to convert the best. And then shut off the other ones. There's no reason to leave them on. And plus, also take into consideration that lead cost is not the only variable. So some dealers struggle with the down payment you have to put on a lease special. Don't run those if you don't have the staff that can pitch someone on the $5,000 they need down. Run the $5,000 off MSRP or the 0% for 72 months. So take that into consideration, but you don't need to run all three. Find one that works and run with it. This dealer, I'll tell you, this dealer right here, Frank Hyundai in San Diego, $12,000 a month they spend on Facebook ads, 30 to 40 cars a month, and you know how many ads they run? Guess how many ads they run? One. This ad right here. The only thing that changes, well, this is an accent. He ran the accent for a while. I will say he runs one each month. It's either the accent or the Elantra. The only thing that changes in this ad, the cost. That's it. Every single month, same ad. It is not rocket science. You don't need a team of social media experts to make 5 million ads for you. You just have to find the one that works and run it till the wheels fall off the bus. I remember one day, a long time ago, I was selling direct mail, and Craig Andrea in Chicago calls me. He wants to buy 80,000 pieces of mail. I'm like, holy crap, 80,000 pieces of mail? And he says, Jason, if this works, I'm going to ride it till the wheels fall off. And you know what? For 3 years, every single month, he sent out 80,000 pieces of mail. And he wrote it till the wheels fell off the bus. Don't overthink it. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. It's very simple. The best way to think about these offers, it's just like what you did 10 years ago. It's the same thing you were doing in TV. It's the same thing you were doing in radio. It's the same thing you did in newspaper. It's nothing different. It's the same people. They're just on Facebook instead of sitting in front of the TV. So make sure you keep your offer simple and clear. Otherwise, you're just going to lose people's attention. The next part in this ad structure, make your call to action clear and easy. Don't say, click our website or call or send a carrier pigeon. I mean, I've seen dealers with 4 or 5 call to actions in their Facebook ad. I'm just like, wow. Okay, you would have to be a rocket scientist to figure out how you're going to buy this car. Keep your call to action very clear and easy. If you use a lead gen ad, like I'm trying to tell you you should use, it's click this get quote button or learn more. They have like 5 or 6 options on what that button's going to say. Don't tell them to click the button or call us. Don't do that. Consumers do not have that attention span anymore. They do not have that. They need to know right away, within 1 second, what do I do if I want an accent? The next one. What happens when they respond? So what do I get when I click this button? Why am I clicking this button? The clients we work with, they solely use text message. No phone calls. Customer will get a text message within 1 second of clicking that button. That's what you tell them. I want to send you a text message. If you don't have text message, I'm going to send you an email. If you don't have email, I'm going to call you. Tell them what they're going to get. It's really that simple. All this other stuff here, you need it or don't need it. I mean, it's going to drive a different kind of customer depending on, like you have no down payment available, you're going to get a bunch of people that don't like putting money down. You got top dollar paid for trades, you're going to get some people that are buried in their trade that need some help getting out of it. You got financing for all credit situations, you're going to get some people that need help with financing. That is optional. We don't put that in every one of our ads. That is optional. Your offer is, what is getting their attention? What is the main part that, on this particular ad, you probably have someone out there trying to buy a new car, right? And what are they getting pitched when they go buy a new car? What's the price range that a new car typically is if you're in this level of vehicle? 18 to 20. So they see this ad and they're like, holy, what? I could drive a new car for $9,777? That's what's getting their attention. You got to find that one thing and ride it till the wheels fall off the bus. These things are very important when it comes to structuring your Facebook ad. The next thing is you can generate any kind of lead. There is no limit. It's not just bad credit people on Facebook. It's not just good credit people on Facebook. It's not new car buyers. It's not used car buyers. It is all of them. All of them. You want new car leads, you get new car leads. You want used car leads, you get used car leads. You want a buyback lead, you get a buyback lead. Literally any kind of customer that you're looking for, you can drive off of Facebook. So I've actually taken the time to put some of our average lead cost here. New cars are going to be on the higher end of the spectrum. So you're looking at $15 to $35 a lead on a new car. It's going to depend on the offer, what kind of new car it is. I mean, we had a dealer wanting to sell Encores in the middle of truck country, and I'm just like, no. I mean, it's going to be hard. So you'll probably be on the higher end of that spectrum. It can go over 35, but our clients won't run over 35. We restructure it. We will not allow them to run over 35. That's the dead limit of where we have everything turn off on the ad, and we say, nope, we can't sell Encores in truck country. Can't do it. Sorry, maybe another social company can help you do that. I can't. So the videos on the new car ads, they're just very simple stock images put together. You may use the video creator inside of Facebook. It's very easy. I mean, you drag 10 images in there. It makes a short little video. Does not have to be anything fancy. You don't need a production company. You don't need an advertising agency to make the video for you. Now, I will say that there are some creative videos that I've seen that drive down that lead cost. So I'm not going to say that a creative agency can't help you get the lead cost down. But just a traditional video that your internet manager or marketing person in the dealership will work just fine. And that's just stock images. On the used cars, they're just images of the used car that rotate through. I don't see a difference between them, to be honest. I have not been able to pinpoint a difference. We do it just so it's not the same thing over and over in the news feed. So we'll use the different ad types just to make sure it's not stagnant. But I don't see any major difference in lead cost based on video or not video. Now, I will say if it's an ugly photo that you put up there where there's dust and dirt and it's just the worst possible corner of the car, I mean, that's going to affect it. So you want to make sure they're nice looking photos that you're using, whether it's in a video or a single image. Yes, sir? We've used carousel ads, no difference. I mean, everyone tries to overthink it. It's about the same on carousel ads. We don't use them just because they're much more work to integrate. I mean, it's more work for you to put the ads out there on a carousel ad because you got to make multiple versions of it. But I haven't seen any fluctuation in lead costs. And we've done quite a bit of testing on them. Your buybacks, they come in between 5 to 10. So I'll give you a little info on this. I'm sure you already know this and you don't want to admit it. People don't care about price anymore. They care about their trade value. That's what they care about. We're out here saying, oh, I'll save you $500. They know that if they go to your site, the next site, they already know the pitch. They're hip on it. They're 3 cars into this, guys and girls. The buybacks work. Now, you do have to desk your deal differently. Because if you get someone coming off a buyback lead and you're dropped your price to invoice or below invoice and they want an extra $1,000 for their trade, you ain't got nowhere to go. So it's a different, be very careful with this ad because if your store is pricing your vehicles where you have no room to over-allow on the trade, then this will not work for you. It'll just be frustrated. You'll be frustrated beyond belief. But if you have the room, which I have some dealers that, believe it or not, they don't put prices on their website. Wow. They sell cars with less than 50% of their prices on their website. They crush it on this ad because the lead cost is $5 to $10. That's what we're seeing, $5 to $10 a lead. You're going to have people that are upside down. You're going to have people that went and shopped and they didn't get what they wanted for their trade. So you have to have the room for that particular ad to desk the deals properly. But it works if you're set up right. So those are a couple examples of ads. There's all kinds. I mean, I don't have a credit example in here, but I mean, it's just we can help get you financed. I mean, it's not rocket science. So how do lead gen ads work? And some of you may already know this, some may not. Customer sees the ad in their news feed, right? In my news feed, it's usually the second post. If you open your news feed and you look, the second post is always a sponsored. So the first one's going to be probably your closest friend, or me if you're my friend, because I dominate people's news feed. But the second one is sponsored. So they see the ad, they click the button, it brings up a form. So here's the next part of why this is genius. What do you hate doing? Filling out forms. Oh my God. I mean, it used to be okay, I didn't mind filling out forms, but now you want the weather. They're like name, email, phone number. You're like, I don't want to fill out this form. And for those dealers that make people fill out forms, please, for the love of God, don't do that. Please don't do that. Do not make people fill out forms to see your inventory. You're just upsetting people. They don't want to fill out forms anymore. So with Facebook, and you've seen a drop in your form completion rates. We got Dan Webb in here from VistaDash. There's a huge drop in form completion rates. Huge drop over the past couple years. People are growing weary of websites. They're tired of so many websites. There's trillions of websites. Website after website after website, form after form after form. So what Facebook did is they said, hey, we don't need them to fill out a form. Why? They already have the information. They know everything about you. They probably know what you're going to eat for dinner tonight, and you don't even know that yet. So they have your email, they have your cell phone, and of course they have your name. Randomly, you've got Big Booty Buoy 69, but most of the time on Facebook, people have their real name on their profile. I'm not joking. That's a real name that I've seen. So most of the time, we have our real name on our Facebook profile. What else do we have that's pretty accurate? Cell phone. Why do we have cell phone? What did they do about 5 years ago? What did everyone in here start getting that was on Facebook back then? Pop-up, right? Validate your account. Right? Everyone remember that? Validate your account. You have to validate and the dang thing wouldn't go away until you put in your cell phone number. And then when people are like, I'm not going to do that, they threaten to cut off your Facebook account. Validate your account or you're not going to be able to log in. They have everyone's cell phone number. They have your cell phone number. Trust me. So the form pops up after they click this button. It's really simple. That's it. No going to your website. No slow loading website where there's 19 call to actions and I got to figure out, do I want to get an appraisal? What do I want to do? Oh my God, which button do I click? There's none of that. They eliminated all of that. That auto-populates. They can change the form if they want to change the form. So occasionally you will run into a customer that has changed the form. I will say that the majority of them are just like cows. They're like, okay, it's 3 clicks. And you'll see the third click here in a second. It's a 3-click lead. So it takes 3 clicks. You got click 1. This one is click 2. The third one is the disclaimer. So you want to make sure you have your disclaimers. You can set up the ads without disclaimers. I recommend that you put your disclaimers on there. The FTC, this is new, but trust me, they're going to be watching this eventually as more people use it. So make sure you put your disclaimers on there. On this ad, it has a disclaimer to opt them into receiving text messages. Because what have we all been taught? Oh my God, don't text people. Don't text them unless I got a double opt. You got to sign this 19-page contract before I can send you a text message. I'm not going to do it. We get sued for millions of dollars. Dealers, oh my God, I'm going to lose my business if I text someone and I don't have permission. Well, you have the ability to say, it's kind of hard to read, but you guys can download this. You're opting into receiving calls and text messages. And then you can put your offer disclaimer there as well. If it's a lease special, whatever it is, just put your disclaimers in there. It doesn't take long. It's the same thing that's on your website. Cut and paste it. Huh? The disclaimers? I mean, they're on your website, typically. This disclaimer, this is in my slide deck, so I don't know where you can get it from Digital Dealer, but it's in here. Or you can email me and I'll send it to you. I could just cut and paste it into an email and send it to you. It's pretty easy. But make sure you put your disclaimers. Just do it. I see dealers without it. Don't do that. I mean, you're getting away with it right now because the FTC probably doesn't know where to go look. But as more dealers do this, they're going to start looking. So put your disclaimers. That's the third click. 3 clicks. No form typing, nothing. 3 clicks. After they click that, you need to respond to the lead quickly. What do we have as a society? What are we suffering from? ADHD, OCD. We want information, instant gratification right now. What happens if you don't respond quickly? Where is the customer? And now you take this to a Facebook customer. You don't respond to them within 1 minute. Goodbye. Adios. They're on the next person. They're on someone else's ad. They're checking out TVs now. They're no longer thinking about cars. So you need to respond to them quickly. This is why a lot of dealers have tried these lead gen forms, and they haven't worked for them. Because you're pushing them into your CRM, which is how long of a delay? How long's the delay from a push to your CRM? 5 minutes, whenever the CRM pops into the account and populates it. And then once it's in the CRM, how long before someone at the dealership follows up with the lead? Come on. Yeah, I'll take it. I don't know. I'll mystery shop. We'll figure that out. But even if it is 15 minutes, that's 20 minutes. What do you think this customer is doing by now? They are on somewhere else. If you're going to cater to a social society that is addicted to getting the information that they want right now, and you don't give them the information they want right now, they're gone. Don't do it. Don't waste your money here. Go spend it somewhere else. Go spend it on 89-year-old Johnny who saw your ad in the newspaper and is okay with you calling him next Sunday. Oh, just call me next Sunday. That'll be fine. I'll be here. These people on Facebook are gone. So respond to them quickly. This is an example of a lead that uses texting. So instant text message to respond to the customer. No, you have to find a third party for this. Facebook does not provide this. You need to find a third party that's going to help you manage these leads once they're generated. Right now on Facebook, what you have to do is you have to go download this CSV file. They don't notify you that there's a new lead. So you got to sit there and refresh every 2 seconds. Refresh, refresh. Oh, new lead, download the CSV, call the person.
Even if you wanted to wait the 5 minutes with the CRM, they only have like 4 or 5.
Yeah, there's a handful of CRMs that have a connection, of services that can connect. All the dealers we work with use text message. Why? We'll go over that in a second. Lead generated at 3:53. First text message sent to the customer at 3:53. It is a robot. Customer responded 1 minute later. 1 minute later, customer bought a car 2 days later. That's what you need to do if you want to convert these leads. If you do not do that, you will not be able to get the conversion needed to make Facebook ads work for you. You have to find a way to respond to these customers instantly. If you don't, they're down the road, they're doing something else, you've lost their attention. So it's highly important, find a way to get the customers right away. So why text message? So everyone raise their hand and keep them up. Come on, let's play a game. Now, if you have unread text messages on your phone, or if you have no unread text messages on your phone, meaning all your text messages are read, I want you to put your hand down. So these people in the room, we got probably 10 of you, have unread text messages right now, right? You got unread text messages? Unread? Now, I want to challenge you. Did you read them but not click on them? Are they read? Are they read? Who else had their hand up? Are they actually read? You just didn't want the person to know you read it. Right? I know. I'm married now, but I had to chase girls for a while. I mean, I know they don't read the text message sometimes. That's what happens. Or your boss. Oh, shit. Do I click it? Oh, no. You read them all. It's fair to say you read them all. Pops up on your phone, you read the text message. How many of you have emails that you haven't read? Everyone in this room. Don't lie. Put your hand up. You got emails you haven't read. And we're business people. We rely on our emails, right? I rely on my email. Now take a consumer who doesn't rely on their email. I challenge you. Check your customers' emails. Check their unread notifications. You're going to see some ridiculous numbers. I have OCD with my notifications. It drives me crazy with any notification on my phone. I don't know how some of these people live. I really don't. I don't know how they survive with 30,000 unread emails. I'm like, oh my God. I would literally kill myself with that many unread emails. So, text message. It's the way people communicate now. It is how we communicate. We don't communicate via email. We don't. And I've got some stats here. Text message has a final open rate of 98%. 98% of text messages are opened versus email. Open rate of 22%. So you tell me, would you rather email or text them? And I don't have stats on calls in here, but who answers their phone for unknown numbers? I mean, and we're all fairly older in here. I mean, we're used to phone calls. We've all made lots of phone calls. We're probably looking at the younger generation. You never pick up the phone. Kids never answer the phone. Wait for 5 years. See what happens in 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You keep trying to make phone calls and send emails, good luck. Good luck in the future. You need to start texting and messaging and communicating with people the way that they want to be communicated. So that's another stat on why text message. Yes, sir. It's not in this slide, but the response rate was in the 30%, 40%. It's really going to vary depending on the type. That's a hard study because no one's really diving in depth in it like they are on email. I hate to give the number because it's just a lot of the stats on text messages are given by text message companies. So it's hard to, no one's really diving into it. I think it'll probably be over the next 5 years that we'll start getting more statistics. And plus text message, the way that it's been done in the past as an SMS is changing. Like on iPhone, it's actually an internet message that appears to be a text message, and we'll start getting more stats as that becomes widely used, like Messenger and other things like that. So, I mean, there's nothing else you could do right now that has a better open rate than text message. It is the highest open rate that you have, period. So why text message again? And I'm leaning into this heavy because it's very important. It's the first thing we check when we wake up, right? Who has their phone next to their bed? And who checks to make sure there's no text messages that are new when you wake up? Everyone. It's the first thing we check. Yes, sir.
Is there any rule on like when to text, like after a certain time, you know, do not text, after 9 p.m.
We try to stay within 9 and 9. I don't think it's being used enough for the rules to be defined as well as they are on phone calls yet. There are certain rules with getting people to opt in. There's some other rules, but as far as time frames, we stay within the same time frames that phone calls are typically made. But customers will text you at 3 in the morning, and I'm sure it's fine to text them back when they're texting you. The problem that we ran into is everyone thought, oh, I'm going to blast text messages to everyone. That's not what we should have done. It's meant for inbound communication, not outbound. You don't buy a list of 10,000 phone numbers and start blasting text messages to people. Don't do that. You will get sued. It's not the right way to do it. And it's the last thing we check before we go to bed. First thing and last thing. That's why you're going to use text message. So I'm going to go over an individual dealer here. This is Mike Phillips. If you guys want his phone number, it's right there. He's been running Facebook ads the same way I showed you for 7 months. He's a good-sized used car store. The owner of this dealership sits on the NIADA board, so it's a good-sized store. $7,800 spent in August. 88,000 people reached. I haven't touched on this yet. This is why it's a perfect replacement for TV. Where else can you reach 88,000 people for $7,800? I don't know anywhere else. I mean, that's a lot of people. 306 leads generated. 306. His average lead cost was on the higher end of $25 per lead. So those are actual statistics from his August Facebook ads. That's what he spent. That's how many leads he generated. And you're thinking, well, what's the conversion rate, right? Who's thinking that? What did you sell? Oh, I have that perfectly spelt out for you here. 7,800 in Facebook ads, 22 cars sold, verified. 22 cars sold, verified sold. This is the kicker. 110,000 in gross. 110,000. That's 14 times your ROI. I have not seen that since the days of early BK direct mail. When you send out a mail campaign, you get hundreds of leads coming in. And every bank was buying someone that had a BK. We could track, well, they're all leads. They're all conversations that we've had that are all proven to be sold from Facebook. You can sell cars on Facebook. I almost gave up. I almost threw in the towel and said, I can't do it. I'm not going to keep doing it. And thank you, baby Jesus, I didn't. Because to me, this is amazing. His salespeople, what's the average gross on that? What's the average round trip gross on that? 5,000. About 5,000. Why? They're not price shopping you. And I actually have some dealers here that can attest to the size of these grosses. Gross is not an ugly word. We have to make money to stay in business. Don't pretend like you're some righteous person who's not going to make money because you want to attract all the customers who don't want to spend an extra $1,000. That's not the only thing that's out there. I will happily pay MSRP for the right experience. Yes, sir.
Is he just for advertising that one Cadillac Escalade?
No, on his store, he runs used cars. There's 15, 20, 30 used cars all running at the same time. Yes, sir.
How does he work with leads?
He works them completely off a text message. All text message. Every one of those is through this entire process that I just showed you right here. So I'm going to open this up for questions. Anyone have any questions? Yes, sir.
Do you recommend, because I guess there's only 4 CRMs you're saying that can handle that?
It's really not the CRMs. It's a connection between.
Do you recommend there being just one point of contact, or is that something that gets like a manager there?
You got to be careful who gets these leads, because a lot of the salespeople have become order takers. I'm sorry to say it, but they have. And these are people that are going to require some extra work to convince why they want the F-150 versus the 1500. So you got to be careful who you give them to. I'd be very leery of just giving these out to anyone. Yes, sir.
Are you using a short code or a local number on the text?
No short codes, local numbers. Okay. Yeah, short codes are very impersonal.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Jonathan?
I know I'm going to bring a client by too, but are you going to go straight to your booth right after this so I can bring somebody by to talk about it, or where are you?
I will run to the rest. I'll be at my booth in 15 minutes.
You'll be at your
Yeah, after I leave out of here. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
How are they getting these like texts out? Like what company is it? You said something about a third-party company.
There's a great company out there called Tacoby. You could stop by the booth. I mean, yeah. They're at. I'm going to be at booth 420, so I'm not allowed to sell, so I really don't want to get too in depth with it. Hey, if everyone will hit the happy face too, please, thank you.
If you don't want to use a third-party company, on the ad, can you just put a salesperson's phone number on there?
I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. You could try.
Is that how it works?
No, you need to pull the data from the customer's profile. I mean, I've run Facebook ads all kinds of different ways, and I'm sure everyone in here has run Facebook ads, and you're like, what am I getting from it? Is it doing anything? The biggest thing I can tell you is stop thinking you could sell cars for $500. Cough up some real money. Give it a real shot and a real chance at being successful. That's the biggest thing. Whether you use this process, some other process, doesn't matter what process you use, if you don't put the right amount of money into it, it's never going to work. You'll never know if it's worked. Yes, sir?
I'm just curious, as far as the results go, if you just sent the leads directly to the dealership, what kind of results you saw? Did you test that?
I mean, it's a dealership working leads. So, I mean, I can't answer that for every store, but I'd say that most stores have trouble working leads, especially in this volume.
So when you started this, it was all integrated with text message from the beginning?
Yeah. Yeah, we integrated this from text message from the beginning. Any other questions? All good?
That they fill out on there, is that a Facebook form or is that a third-party form?
That's a Facebook form.
Oh, it is?
They don't leave Facebook. It's inside of Facebook. There's no external website to go to.
So the disclaimer for opting in is in the Facebook.
That's in Facebook as well.
Okay, and then the third party comes in after that.
Yeah, the third party basically gets, Facebook sends the data to the third party, and then they answer the lead, correct? No, on Facebook you have to download the CSV file. On Facebook? Yeah, there's other products that you could put in between that will put it into your CRM. So LeadBridge is one if you want to research them. Yeah, well, it's going to go through the normal CRM. You're going to have the CRM delay, and then you got your BDC delay as well. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thank you.